What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me. I'm out here grabbing some groceries. And it looks like I got another. Oh, no. This cart sucks. I'll put this one back. The streak. The streak has unfortunately been broken. This one was. Let's continue. Fago made some new flavors, and I'm gonna have to grab one of each to try with my son. This bubble pop, which is supposed to be bubble gum, according to them. Grab two of those, and this super pop, which, what is it supposed to be? Like Superman ice cream flavor. Okay. We'll do one of each of those. See what's going on with that. All right, let's get into the topic at hand, y'all. Pastor Sapp, Marvin Sapp, and he's trying to do damage control. He's received a lot of backlash after that video of him telling the ushers to close the door until he get 40 G's went viral. He went on the Rickey Smiley show, and he basically was just trying to justify why he did it, explain away why he did it, why he said it, and essentially gaslight everybody saying, oh, it was taken out of context. That's not really what I meant. He said that people took issue with his tone, because his tone sucked. If you watch the video, which I'm sure you guys have seen it by now, he's telling the ushers, close the door multiple times in a very authoritative tone. So, he was pretty serious about what he was trying to do. And he's like, but you notice I didn't say lock the doors. Okay, that's true. He didn't say that. So from a legal standpoint, I guess he can't be sued for kidnapping or whatever, but it still did not look good. The optics of that did not look good. So just because you didn't say lock the doors, it doesn't change that your intent was to hold people there. He says that, there was chaos going there. He wasn't even at his church. He was at a convention hall. That's not really relevant to the action. It just seemed like he was just doing a bunch of dancing around, and he just ultimately said a whole lot of nothing. Rickey Smiley platformed him because I guess they cool, and he let him just talk at length, and he really, truly said a bunch of nothing. And he was saying, the 40 grand, it wasn't even for him. It was for some convention. He was raising money for some convention. He didn't even touch the money. He never got a penny of it. Okay, so you were squeezing your congregation to benefit somebody else? And I've heard quite a few people say that those conventions, when you're raising funds, it's to pay people, usually the speakers. And that checks, because, look, I've been to a number of different organized church things in my life. I was forced to go to a lot of them in my younger years because my folks did not miss a damn church service. At one point in time, my mother had us in church, and this was while my stepfather was at work. My mother had us in church almost every evening. I absolutely hated it. It's one of the reasons why I don't go to church now. I'd be hanging out with my friends, and we got to go to church. I freaking hated it. I had this girlfriend that she used to get her nails done by the woman next door. And she only came over to visit me when her mom was getting her nails done. Her mom might get her nails done like once a month, once every 3 weeks to 4 weeks, something like that. So when she came over to visit me, I wanted to spend that time with her. And my mother knew that. And my mother would be like, oh, it's time for us to go to church. We got to go to church. I hated that so much. Especially, I remember this one time, it sucked really bad. She literally just got there as we were leaving out to get in the car to leave. Now, my mom could have let me stay. At the time, I was like, 14, 15? My mom could have let me stay. Maybe not in the house, but she could have been like, y'all can sit on the porch or something like that, because she knew that was my girlfriend. No, I had to go to church with them. So, yeah, this developed, I'm not going to say some resentment, but a dislike for going to church, at least that rapid. The other dislike for going to church had to do with the fact that the hustling preachers were just so annoying to me. I'd be sitting there in the audience, and these guys were such clear and obvious hustlers. And the people in the church would be on their every damn word. And the one that we used to go to the most, they used to have guest speakers. And I remember this one guy came. I guess he was like some prominent figure. He had some old school classic car that had been restored. It was one of them fancy, super old Fords that was like a convertible, and it had like the wheels on the side of it, in the body of the car. You guys will know what I'm talking about if I could show you a picture. I'm trying to describe it as best I can, but just think some of those old school, pimped out cars from way back. We talking about Henry Ford era stuff. He had one of those. And I was just thinking to myself, looking at that car, like, man, what does this guy make doing this, going out doing these speaking gigs in order to afford that? So when you see this situation here with Marvin Sapp, he demonstrates perfectly why a lot of people, especially men, don't want to go to the church. Like, really. A lot of people is like, man, it's Sunday, football is on. Why the hell should I go to church and listen to some hustling ass preacher talk about how basically we're all going to hell if we don't do all these things that in many cases the preacher himself isn't doing. So that's pretty much it, y'all. He offered up a really flimsy explanation for why he said what he said, why he did what he did. He's like, he understands the way it looks, but it wasn't how we perceived it. It went viral, it's taken out of context, it's all that good stuff. And he couldn't stop hammering home that he didn't take a penny of it. He don't even know where that money went, basically. The money just went wherever, and he doesn't know how it was spent or whatever, but he didn't get any of it. He didn't do himself any favors. He didn't sound redeemed behind it. Like, I listened to him, and he just sounded like a dude that was just totally full of shit, to be quite honest. And he'll probably recover from it. This whole thing, he's claiming that people have called the church and cussed him out, and he's getting death threats. This stuff will pass. He'll recover from it, because what I've noticed is that religion is one of the easiest ways to hustle people. I've seen straight up hustlers, because I used to watch a lot of crime documentaries. There's one in particular called American Greed. And one thing I noticed is that the religious scams were always very potent. You would have con artists who tried other things and failed, but once they finally tried the religion, they put the religious theme on it, they were successful. So religion is one of the easiest and most potent and most reliable ways to scam people, because everybody wants to be saved, everybody wants to go to heaven. So even if you have shown yourself to be exactly the type of person that you preach against, just throw yourself before the congregation, like, I repent, or be like him and just gaslight your people and telling them that they didn't really see what they thought they saw. I'm gonna leave it there though, y'all. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.